So Invincible Season 3 just ended, and one of the most notable differences during the Invincible War arc was the lack of one of Image's most popular characters, Spawn. In the show, Viltrumite Mark fights Wolfman, but in the comic version, this version of Mark actually battles Spawn, and he even makes the claim that he actually killed a version of Spawn on his own planet. This has led many people to debate and even believe that the main version of Mark can actually contend with and even beat Spawn. So I decided to do some research and see if that's actually true. So who would win? Invincible or Al Simmons' Spawn? So firstly, to address the situation, yes, Viltrumite Mark did kill a version of Spawn back in his own universe. I think it's safe to assume that given the fact that Ryan Ottley, an artist for the Invincible comic line, actually drew this piece of art on screen, which is Viltrumite Mark holding a bloody Spawn mask, I mean, we can assume that he actually did kill a version of Spawn. However, even if he did in fact manage to kill the Spawn from his world, there are some huge problems here. First of all, there's way too many unknowns here. Who exactly was this version of Spawn? Was it an alternate Al Simmons or someone else? Because even in the main continuity, there have been plenty of Hellspawn before and after Al Simmons. Secondly, how powerful and experienced was this version of Spawn? Did he know how to use his powers as effectively as Al Simmons or any other Hellspawn? One thing to note is that Spawn in the main series has undergone multiple evolution events where his symbiotic suit K7 Letha has increased in power and durability. There's no way to know if this version of Spawn that Viltrumite Mark fought could have or has gotten to that point in his own world. And do Hellspawn in this alternate world operate under the same rules as the main one? This is important because in the main continuity, Hellspawn can generally only be killed by holy weapons, with very few exceptions. Maybe Viltrumite Mark had access to a holy weapon, or perhaps this rule just doesn't even exist in his world. This feat just has way too many unknown factors at play, but maybe in the future we'll see this event in more detail, assuming there are some Invincible or Spawn spin-off stories in the future. But if we're talking about main universe Mark taking on Al Simmons' Spawn at his best, Mark has a lot of problems to deal with. Spawn has a myriad of insane powers that would give Invincible a lot of trouble. He can stop time at will, manipulate and separate someone's soul, create black holes that can send you straight to hell. He can manipulate his opponent's mind, causing them to go insane and off themselves. He's shown the ability to manipulate matter, and he's even used this power to turn someone's blood into pure poison. He can even summon various beings from hell to devour someone's soul. His suit, K7 Letha, is a symbiotic organism bonded to Spawn. It can produce various weapons and even react on its own to fight threats for Spawn. But more importantly, it is in a constant state of evolution. It gets stronger each time Spawn fights a powerful threat. This is similar to the Viltrumite ability to adapt every time they encounter a powerful threat. This is due to the smart atoms in their DNA. So both Invincible and Spawn are constantly evolving and growing in power as they fight. To be honest, Mark has never really shown high levels of resistance to soul manipulation or high levels of mind manipulation, nor has he ever shown the ability to resist or somehow overcome time stop. So these abilities alone would be a lot for Mark to handle, and they would make up for the gap in raw power, assuming there even is a gap in raw power. We have several reasons to believe Spawn would be as strong or even far stronger than Mark. He scales to beings like Angela, someone who has fought the Argus, an ever-changing demonic being and a threat that has wiped out entire suns and solar systems. And his mere existence was causing space and time to be fractured. Angela was not only able to fight, but eventually kill the Argus. Invincible needed help from two others to destroy an already weakened planet, and all three of them had to hit the planet at a certain spot, or else they would just die on impact. Spawn can also use his necroplasmic energy to enhance his strength, speed, and durability. So reasonably, I see no way Mark could even match base Spawn in raw power or durability, even by the end of the series. But what about speed? At first when I was researching this video, I assumed that Mark would actually have the advantage in speed. It's obvious that by the end of the series, he's faster and stronger than Nolan, who was able to fly from Earth to a planet in the Virgo supercluster in just a week, which would make him massively faster than light. But even then, Spawn is a lot faster by comparison. Spawn was able to move so fast that he just obliterated the concept of time. He's fought angels who move at more than 6.3 billion times the speed of light. I mean, his speed is just on a whole other level compared to someone like Mark, Omni-Man, or really any other character in the Invincible universe. Even if you wanted to say Invincible is faster for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter if Spawn stops time, and he has no real way to put down Spawn, someone who can regenerate from virtually anything and can only reasonably be killed by a holy weapon. And we know that even if Mark is technically stronger and faster than a character, if they have really powerful regeneration, him and Omni-Man will really struggle with them. For example, Mr. Liu and his Spirit Dragon. I mean, it took Omni-Man 10 days just to beat him. And this is not even getting into the other versions of Spawn, like Hell King Spawn, a version of Spawn that exists completely outside of time and has full control over the 8th circle of hell. Spawn's power increases so much when he becomes a Hell King that with every heartbeat, his strength is said to increase 100 times. The average person's heart beats around 60 to 100 times per minute. If Spawn's heart beats 60 times a minute and his power increases 100-fold, that means he grows 6,000 times stronger as every minute passes in the human world. As a Hell King, he has full control over Hell's armies as well as complete control over his domain. He can warp his realm to be the size of a planet or even as large as a galaxy. He also has the same powers as the other Hell Kings, among which include being able to send beings through any part of time instantly. So he could technically send Mark millions of years into the past if he wanted to. At this point, I don't even think I need to get into Divine or God Spawn, the latter version of Spawn being able to recreate the entire universe as he sees fit, and even surpassing the power of God and Satan. That level of power alone is above anything Mark has ever faced. So yeah, Spawn just has way too many abilities that Mark just reasonably doesn't have any way around. He's most likely much stronger and more durable, and arguably faster than Mark. And the more powerful versions of Spawn we use, the more likely it is that Mark just absolutely gets destroyed. I'm still kind of bummed out that we didn't get to see Spawn in season 3, but hopefully he'll make a cameo in this new show only story where Invincible apparently is going to hell. I think this would be a perfect time and place for them to introduce a character like Spawn. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And if you like versus battles like this, go ahead and subscribe for more.